The leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, is not giving up yet on its plan to embark on a nationwide industrial action and protest against the recent increase in the price of fuel and electricity tariff. The NLC president, Ayuba Waba, says union leaders have all endorsed the 7-day ultimatum it issued to the federal government to reverse its decision of face a nationwide protest and industrial action. Last week, the organized labor movement threatened a nationwide protest and strike beginning from the 28th of September, which is just less than a week from now. Mr. Waba made the comments after the NLC National Working Committee meeting in Abuja. Meanwhile, the federal government will tomorrow again meet with the leadership of the organized labor movement to have a discussion with the workers' unions about their planned strike and protest against the twin increment in the prices of fuel and electricity. Tonight, let's get a sense of what this means and the implication on the economy and, of course, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. I've joining me, Mr. Amaechi Asugene. He's Vice President of the Nigerian Labour Congress. Thank you so much, Mr. Asugene, for coming tonight.
Thank you, Sharon.
Why is Labour wanting to go on strike? First and foremost, the federal government will say, look, it's good. I mean, we're trying to fix things in the oil and gas sector, and it will come with its implication. A lot of people have clamored for the removal of fuel subsidy. We're doing that, and that means that the price will come up, the market will determine it. The electricity issue, those involved in it that say, look, this is also an issue of if you use more, you pay more. Is there any alternative from the Labour end?
I think first I start by saying for record purposes, I am the Deputy President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, and looking at the action plan by Labour on the issue of removal of fuel subsidy is a threat on arrival. And I believe government already know the essence of subsidy commitment before now was to prevent hardship on Nigerians until such a time when refineries would have been made working and then production of this product become much available for the price to naturally drop, because we're talking about factors of demand and supply. Situation whereby you wake up and you say you deregulate without making those provisions, already you become insensitive in the suffering of Nigerians. So there is no way Nigeria will accept federal government decision to deregulate, subjecting the same product from importation. That is to say there is no end to the hike of the price.
So the labor union or the NLC or the labor movement is not accepting the explanation of the federal government that says, look, we are in a hard time and we can no longer fund subsidy.
At whose expense? If you are in a hard time, when palliative should be the order of the day for ordinary Nigerians that cannot even provide for themselves. Don't forget a country which individual household fund itself in terms of provision for social welfare. You all agree with me that the primary essence of governance is the well-being of the people. So if you take a decision that will subject Nigeria to suffering in the midst of COVID-19, that is a big injury, and it's difficult to accept because this is the same government finding it difficult to offer something on the table. Peradventure, there is a program telling Nigerians how much refineries has worked, what was the capacity, and today, what has it improved to? Nothing has worked in terms of refinery. Why wouldn't refinery work? Why would you export our employment? And then you import high price of petrol for Nigerians to suffer. And then when you say you deregulate, and then you allow certain people, who are these importers, if Nigeria want to know? Who are the importers? Who are these nominees that must benefit at the expense of Nigerians? Nobody is saying subsidy should not be removed. Neither Labour has said so. But you can only remove subsidy when provisions have been made working in Nigeria in such a way that refineries have been put on hold for such a long time. Experts have proven that refineries are still new, can work and can function. Why have they not made effort from inception? How many decades now? You think refineries have failed to work?
You think something is wrong in that area?
Something is wrong with the governing key. Because where you don't see, they say what you don't have, you don't give. There is meeting, Labour will always make itself available for meeting, but I doubt such provision that will convince Labour to actually put on
because
hold
I understand
the plan
that
action.
there's been meetings and there will be another meeting tomorrow.
Yes.
What is the federal government telling Labour about their plans and what they have done? Because the federal government had done it. The prices are being, the deregulation has commenced, not like there is a negotiation about whether or not it will commence. It has commenced. The electricity tariff regime has commenced also. But what has the federal government told Labour?
I think I may not speak for them, but for the one I witnessed, the meeting of last week, there was nothing on the table. And you don't expect Labour to suggest way out to government who deliberately proceeded to remove subsidy and increase the tariff, electricity tariff without recourse to this consultation. They didn't consult, there was no consultant as to consequence of your action, and now the consequence is before Nigerians, and you want me to suggest the way out? The way out is to reverse. You have to reverse.
So what Labour is saying now is that it's either you reverse or we shut down the nation.
Definitely. Either you reverse, put certain indices, those facilities that must work, that guarantees Nigerians that there is hope. You know, don't forget, where you engage in activity that does not guarantee your future, the threat become more, even to the economy itself.
Because one would think that if you are making demands and negotiating, it's a fact that I have my own stance and you have your demands as Labour.
We have.
So the thinking is that does Labour have an alternative aside saying you revert to the old ways? Because the federal government has said the old ways we cannot as a nation afford it. Is there a middle point?
The federal government has failed to tell Nigeria their plans for Nigerians. You are only telling us that you cannot continue to fund subsidy. We agree with you. What have you done? Don't forget, in the case of electricity, federal government sold electricity at the rate of about 400 billion naira. The same federal government told us that they have spent in less than 5 years 1.5 trillion in the same business that does not belong to you. Where is the wisdom? Where is the governance key? Something is wrong.
So
if you don't push them, they will not factor the truth.
We've heard programs like Sure-P.
Yes.
Because when there were plans for deregulation and all that, those kind of whatever, is the Labour looking to bring back that kind of program?
You see, programs of that nature, you call it Sure-P, you call it Sure-T, all of these programs are designed to benefit little. You know, the names will always tell you the purpose to mean for the people, but the implementation has not yielded result. The government would have told you time without number they put in huge amount of money in electricity. None has worked. They promised Nigeria to meter everybody so that the estimating today we have engaged government for more than 3 years on that. Metering become impossible. Before now, the Minister of Power used to measure electricity through a better pass my neighbor, as Nigeria will call it, that making it 1,000 can empower a nation. But all of a sudden, he failed in his hand.
Mr.
Now,
Asugwini.
the new Minister of Power also is still dragging within the same context.
Mr. Asugwini, tomorrow is Thursday, a day before the weekend of Friday, and the weekend starts. And you are an experienced Labour leader. Do you think that something can happen in terms of negotiation and whether there will be a shifting of grounds before Monday? Because that is when you said the strike will commence. But from what we have heard from Labour, you have said that it's going to be the mother of all strikes.
As far as Labour is concerned, the discussion from tomorrow depends on government offer. Mobilization is already in place. As a matter of fact, officers have been moved to different zones to ensure that there is no relapse of mobilization. Meeting can be going on, leaders will engage, but leaders are on ground. For me, it's a total strike because we are the people, we are feeling it, and we must speak for the voiceless.
How far will this strike go?
Indefinite.
How far-reaching will it be? We say strike in such that a lot of activities of government were paralyzed. What are the segments that are going to be involved in this strike? Because an average Nigerian will also feel the heat of the strike?
As a matter of fact, the average Nigerians are calling for the strike. Initially, probably many didn't get to know the consequence of this in their own living way. But now, as I speak to you, all sector of Nigeria economy will be shut down. It's a decision that was far-reaching to the extent that commitments were taken by all trade union leaders, and to the best of my knowledge, including the civil society and other groups, are ready to engage government until they reverse this decision. Because if we fail to do the needful, then anarchy is before Nigeria.
So two things. It's either government reverses or labor shut down the country.
And that, I think, is a concluded plan. And
Wow.
come Monday, 28th of September, I believe Nigeria should be stalking by now, because it's not going to be any type of...
It's not a tea party.
It's never a matter of joke. Labor is serious, and they must engage this time.
Well, I hope things change and we can have a meeting point so that production will not be shut down. We cannot afford a shutdown of production and for this country, because the nation is really, really suffering in terms of production, and the economy is really suffering.
And I think government would think in that direction, because if government is becoming or going to be adamant to the demand of labor, I tell you that democracy represents the people, and labor is talking for the people,
right.
And the position of labor reflects the position of the masses.
Amaechi Asugenin, the deputy president, isn't it,
Yes.
of the Nigerian Labour Congress. Thank you so much for coming tonight. And we look forward to that meeting with the Labour and the federal government tomorrow. Unfortunately, the Minister of Labour was supposed to also be part of the program tonight. For some reasons, he said he was in a meeting and he could not join us. We will definitely get him to, so that you can hear what the federal government is also doing. But that's how we close the program today. Many thanks everyone for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye for now.